have to show us that they're good at sudden things and overcoming problems. Pardon the interruption. Please start over.
Sure, no problem. I'm so grateful you're okay over there. I'm sorry. Anyway, hello, my name is Joel Diaz, and I'd first like to say thank you to the Southern Hills Homeowners Association for putting on this event and inviting us. I have two daughters at the school district, a second and fourth grader. I've lived in Brisbane for about 18 years. My real estate office is the Better Homes and Gardens office in Daly City at Ceremony on Geller. I've operated out there for the past 12 years. Sold private real estate in Daly City during those 12 years. I am running for school board because I want to be more of an advocate for improving our children's education. And I feel like we live in an ever-changing knowledge-based society and economy. And if we're not going to adapt, we're going to fall behind. And I think that we need fresh insight, innovative ideas in order to be adaptive for the future. And I would like to try and implement that strategy of being adaptive. I think we've all witnessed our school district's efforts to improve education over the past years, and yet academic performance is still below what is considered acceptable by the California state standards. Panorama's in program improvement. Lippman Middle School, which Panorama kids go to for middle school, is in program improvement. In fact, 75% of California schools are in program improvement. And what does that mean? It means that our current school system isn't working. And it means that the pace of improvement in education is not fast enough. And I think we need to create urgency to improving education. It has to happen now. We've got to stop delaying and coming up with excuses. It's all too easy to make excuses not to improve the children's education. And there's a trade-off. There's a trade-off for those delays. And so I want to change that. I'm a candidate for change. This concludes my opening statement. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Be heard. I have quite a projecting of voice. I'm Karen Lentz. Over the past month, I've walked the sidewalks and streets of Southern Hills. I've talked to parents and residents, and I've come to realize that Panorama is the heart and soul of the community. I visited Panorama's classrooms, spent time with the inspiring principal, Bob Abea, and have met with Southern Hills' homegrown Tom Letta. In many ways, Panorama is the ideal public school. Small class sizes, teachers who collaborate and support each other, progressive educational practices, carefully designed classrooms, after-school programs. It is a gem, and as a school board member, I would never vote to close Panorama. Instead, I would work to differentiate it from Brisbane Elementary, adding programs that would draw students from Brisbane and from South San Francisco. I would make certain that Panorama families that struggle financially are connected with the resources they need for their students to succeed. And I would work tirelessly to push for academic achievement through teacher collaboration, curriculum review, and professional development. And what do I bring to the job? I served on 6 boards, most recently as Vice Chair of the Brisbane Parks and Recreation Commission and President of the Brisbane Dance Workshop. Every program in which I was involved has its own set of financial challenges. I have analyzed budgets, created strategic business plans, and have spearheaded new programs in lean financial times. I know how to create partnerships with nonprofits, with our cities, and I have specialized in communications and team building. I am passionate about education, for my own district student, and for all of our kids. And I hope to bring my skills and dedication to the BESD School Board. Thank you.
Thank you to the Southern Hills Homeowners Association for inviting me here and facilitating this forum. My name is Roxanna Huey, and I'm a dedicated Brisbane School District parent whose priorities. You better go to the mic. Do I get to start over? Yeah. Thank you to the Southern Hills Homeowners Association for inviting me here and for facilitating this forum. My name is Roxanna Huey, and I am a dedicated Brisbane School District parent. My priorities are academic achievement, continued fiscal solvency, and school safety. In June, my son Zachary graduated from Lippman, and my daughter Isabel graduated from Panorama. Over the past 3 years, I have volunteered almost 500 hours of my time because I enjoy being able to provide an extra layer of support when and where it's needed. We are at an exciting time in education with the transition to Common Core. I feel confident that our district's early adoption of the teaching model, highly effective teaching, has benefited our kids and prepared them for this transition. My own being there experiences have enriched my views and helped me appreciate the successes and challenges in our small district. Just as important, I feel more connected with the community. I love that I got to stand knee-deep in mud, hike San Bruno Mountain, camp, explore Stanford with kids, my kids, and their classmates. I have been asked many times why I chose to run for the spot on the board. The straightforward answer is I'm doing it for the kids, and not just my 2 kids, but I'm doing it for all of the kids in all 3 schools in our district. My participation in the district leadership team last year gave me an opportunity to see what we need to improve on, but also what we're doing really well. We are all here in this room tonight because we care about the future of our schools and our community. We want our kids to feel safe and know that they are in a nurturing learning environment, because kids cannot learn if they don't feel comfortable. Thank you.
I got a boom for a voice, so I need a microphone. Again, thank you again for allowing us to be here at your meeting. It's a great opportunity. I was here 4 years ago, and I first ran for school board, so it's nice to be back. My name is Leo Tingen. I'm running for the position of school board trustee. I've served 1 term as a school board member, and would like to serve another term. I'm a Brisbane resident and parent of students who currently enrolled at BES and live in school. When I ran 4 years ago for the school district position, we were facing many issues. Issues including budget deficit, school closure, district merger, to name a few of the decisions that we were actually going through. There were careful and thoughtful, debated issues, and on my term as a school board member, we've weathered through them. Since being on the board, we as a school district have successfully navigated through these difficult times. And now we're in the process of moving forward with the Common Core, a new standard of education not only in California but nationwide. Over the past 3 years, we have not had to spend money out of our reserve, and through thoughtful generosity of the community and compromises from teachers, we can move forward and bring good education to our children. I am proud of the working relationship I have enjoyed with the school district staff and have been endorsed by the classified union and the entire district, as well as many teachers, including all the teachers at Panoramic School. I'm also throwing my endorsement in for Rox, who's a Southern Hills resident, and Karen, who's a Brisbane parent. I'm also endorsed by Southern Hills resident and candidate for council, Tom Blake.
Good. We will now have questions that Tim Cannon has selected, and there'll be 1 minute per candidate to answer, and we'll start with Karen to have a rotation.
Karen, this is a 2-part question. What is your plan to improve education? And the second part, what is your plan to increase urgency to improve it? And then we'll start out with the country's economy right after that.
They couldn't hear the question.
Tim, they didn't hear you.
Right into the mic.
It's a 2-part question. What is your plan to improve education? And what is your plan to increase urgency to improve it?
Okay, so I'll try to speak loudly now, let me know if you can't hear me. My plan to improve education, I believe that we need to increase the participation of the site councils at each school. The site council is the legislative body of school governance. And right now, they are functioning more like, I would say, a PTO, as far as providing activities and further enrichment for the kids. But actually, a huge part of their role is to create vision, to create the legislation of the schools, and to work on curriculum. And I would, if I am elected to school board, I would work on that immediately, because I think that is a critical part that our school district is missing in governance.
For improving education, I'm assuming you're talking specific to our district. And right now we have task forces already in place want to already work on the areas that we need improvement on. We know those areas, we know the target groups that need the most help, and so we actually have task force, the teachers met all last year. Of course, they meet every year, but they specifically are already working on all of those deficiencies that we know that we can improve on. You know, we're doing a lot of things great, but there, of course, is always room for improvement. And as far as the sense of urgency, I feel that we're not sitting back twiddling our thumbs. I think that we are actively working to advocate for our kids. You know, we are a little bit, we have a lot on our plate right now with Common Core, so we're trying to balance that right now also with being up for the next round of tests and all of the different styles of learning that are going to come with that. HET has already done that for us, but there are still going to be new requirements for us that we need to follow.
So improving education. The school board is responsible for, I feel, the technological aspect and infrastructure side. The superintendent is in charge of instruction and curriculum, and I think the renewed focus in the new Common Core standards has seen teachers really embrace it, and we see that it's more in line with the HET standard that we actually are teaching in the school district, so I see a lot of enthusiasm in teachers. Professional development, collaboration between the elementary schools to streamline the education and have a narrow focus as to when they go from elementary school to middle school, that they progress on an even path. We're also doing the DRA guided reading and making sure that's district-wide for everybody, and the math collaborative with the Silicon Valley Math Initiative. We're on the forefront of actually having David Foster really help us with our math curriculum. So I think we're moving forward and we're doing a good job, and I think you'll see that the kids are excited about learning, and their teachers are excited about teaching them.
So yeah, first thing we got to do is hire a state-of-the-art financial analyst to come up with budget forecasting models that we can use. We don't have any forecasting models right now. We need to know how much money we can spend to improve education. And right now we have $5.2 million in cash, so I think that's urgent right now to get an analyst to help us, state-of-the-art. We need to focus on reading. We have a high number of kids that aren't proficient in reading. It's amazing. Common Core, if it's still around in a couple of years, that's great, but we can't put all our eggs in one basket. We need to focus on basics. Teachers need to get together and form a collaborative group to come up with ideas. They're the ones with boots on the ground. They know how to fix things. They have the knowledge. We need to hear from them. We don't have those communities of teachers telling us what to do. That's where we need to start.
So we'll start. Next one, Roxana. How will you ensure that Southern Hills community, that Panorama will be properly represented, since the board for sure will have 4 Brisbane residents with a possibility of 5 sitting on the board?
I think I have a particular advantage since I'm a resident. You know, this is my community, and I've lived here almost 17 years. And my daughter attended Panorama. I feel that I have very good rapport with all of the district staff, with the Panorama staff, and also in Brisbane and Whitman. I also know some of the staff at BESD and the elementary school, so I feel that I have a bit of an advantage already because of the rapport and also knowing all of the board members. So just because I'm a collaborator and I think that I'm able to make good decisions with everybody and get along with everybody, that would be
You can keep going.
I'm sorry, you couldn't hear me.
You need to speak up.
Do you want anyone that would like to use the microphone, please do.
Okay.
And I apologize.
Is it wireless?
No, unfortunately, yeah.
That'd be the city council to put wireless microphones. Yep.
So on my time on the board, currently we have 4 Brisbane residents and 1 Panorama Southern Hills resident on the board. I think through the issues of school closure and district merger, we thoughtfully represented everybody in our district. And I can say that I have a really good relationship with teachers and staff at Panorama. I see a lot of the parents here. I've been to a lot of the events. And I can say that when I look at the decision making that the board has made, it's been for every single child in the district, not just the kids in Southern Hills or the kids in Brisbane or the kids in South City. We really looked at what was best for every single child in the district. And I can honestly say that the 5 people that are on the board always thought that way. We may have had disagreements about things, but it has always been about how do we best service every single kid in the district. And it wasn't about where do I live, where does this person live, who we represent. It was always about bringing equal opportunities to every single child in the district.
So what's good for the district is healthy schools, all 3 schools. Brisbane kids go to Panorama, Brisbane kids are going to go to Panorama, and vice versa. It's about giving. We have to give to the children. It's not about taking what's good for the adults, it's about focusing on what's good for the children. And I think we can all get behind that and bond around that. We need to get rid of the things that keep us apart, and focus on the things that keep us together, that make us a community. The school ties us together. We need to reach out to the communities. We need to have more interaction. We need to be more communicative as a school board, as a school district, to the communities. That means innovating. That means televised meetings, reaching out to people, sharing information, making people passionate about our children and our shared education.
It is important that Panorama is properly represented, and I am a resident of Brisbane, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a district focus, because I do. I treasure our 3 schools. I think it's important to have more choice than less choice. Again, as I said in my opening, I think it's important that we differentiate the elementary schools so that children will have an option of different teaching styles or different learning philosophies. Parents will have that option as well. I think that will strengthen our school district, and I would be strongly in favor of differentiating the schools and strengthening Panorama.
Okay, the next question is really, there's 2 questions that are very similar. How would you promote a collaboration in the community between Daly City and Brisbane due to some of the Southern Hills residents living in Daly City, but their children are going to the Brisbane School District? And how do you propose to build a community between Southern Hills and Brisbane? So we'll start out with Lynn.
I think the relationships between Southern Hills and Brisbane have probably been, I would say, the best they've been since I've been on the board. It was started with the district-wide fundraiser that BESD PTO put together that had a lot of groups really come together and just celebrate community. And I think that's one of the things that we're trying to do is we have our one big fundraiser and we get everybody from the district to really just come in and just celebrate being a family. We're one district with one family. I see a lot of faces in the crowd and I recognize them from doing a lot of these things. And it's just getting people together to volunteer, to be social. I like the fact that we're a social community. I mean, I don't want people from one community not to feel welcome in another community. And I feel like in the time in the last 4 years since I've been on the board, we've had some of the best relations between parents from both schools really coming together and being one district, not just I'm part of Southern Hills and I'm part of Brisbane.
So to be more collaborative, I think we need to form collaborative groups of parents and community members from each community. And since we have a mixture of Brisbane and Daly City folks at every school anyway, it's a perfect way to have a collaborative group, a mixed group of people from different cities. And those we don't do that now, but we should do that. And those groups should routinely report to the school board with ideas. And you get people working together, a cohesive group with a shared vision, a joint goal of improving education for the children. Sharing information to all the communities is critical. There are a lot of people in Brisbane that don't even know Panorama exists. And it's really sad, you know, because Panorama is a beautiful school. It's a beautiful campus. There are beautiful people there. And they need to know about it.
I agree with both Leo and Joel. I think fundraising is an excellent way for us to work collaboratively as a district. I also think that the collaborative entities at the schools already exist, because those are the site councils, and they are representative of not only the PR community, but the teacher community, and it's important that everybody works together on these entities of site council, because these are the groups that actually create the ideas and give direction and work toward new curriculum and new ideas. And it's important that it is indeed a collaborative effort.
So I interpreted that question a little differently as maybe collaboration and meeting with the kids because they are isolated. You know, we're all in cars. Maybe the kids have soccer together, but I interpreted more of collaboration with the kids. And actually, we do have things starting in the 4th grade the 4th graders get to participate, but it's more for the 5th graders where they have a joint day of games. You know, Alice games at Panorama and Mitten games over at PBS. And so as far as collaboration, again, I focused it more on the kids. You know, they are given the opportunity to meet, to play games, to have lunch together, so that going to middle school isn't so awkward and we're not really strangers. So as far as collaboration, they really are encouraging those relationships because, you know, the whole reason we're all here is because we want the kids to do well in school. We want them to all feel a sense of community. And I think that we are doing that, at least, you know, at the elementary school level, to be able to get them together before they're thrown into 6th grade.
Okay, time for the 2-minute closing statements. And why don't you start with Leo to reverse the order of the opening statements, please. And again, anyone who wants to use the microphone, please do so. I apologize, my hearing devices are off tonight, so, well, they're in there. Never.
So in closing, again, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up tonight. I know it was a candidates meeting for the City Council. There was a big Giants game on tonight. They did lose. Sorry. Spoiler alert. I've been a proud parent to my 2 kids who've been in the schools. One's really excelling really well, and one just struggles to get by. Do I blame the school district for that? No. Do I think they haven't got a good education model? I think they do. And I'm proud of the fact that they belong in the school district, and I'm proud of the fact that I serve on the school district panel. I'm also thankful for the opportunity to lead the community forward in what we have in terms of the challenges of the Common Core, in terms of budget challenges. We have things in place. We explore all kinds of venues right now. We do have a surplus. We're trying to figure out how to best spend that. But it's also, too, is how do we best make sure that our district is a viable solution for kids. We don't, I mean, our main fear was, were we going to lose the school district and be absorbed by another big district? We really wanted to make sure that we held our community together. That was our main focus of the school board. Going forward, we're looking for better educational models. How do we best get these teachers on board to make sure that they have the tools available and the training available to lead our kids into what has now become the Common Core standards in California. Checking my notes, sorry. That's it.
I really need to stand to my microphone.
Good, thank you.
I have been a Southern Hills resident for almost 17 years, and I am the only Southern Hills candidate running for a seat on the board. However, you shouldn't vote for me because of my zip code. I want you to vote for me because we need invested stakeholders and active parents on the school board to make sound decisions, and I am that person. I am invested in Southern Hills and the Brisbane School District community, and I know the value of collaborative decision-making. All of the teachers at Panorama, in addition to the classified union, have endorsed me because they know I am dedicated to public education. The bottom line is the kids and my commitment to making sure that they get the most vibrant education that they can. Thank you.
I am honored to be endorsed by outgoing trustees Tom Letta and Ken Walker. They know that I am dedicated to the entire district, that I give 150% to whatever I do, that I will be a true representative of our community. I am running for office because I respect the work that has been done to improve our schools, but I also know that we can do better. I will always push for improvement. I will never allow financial constraints to limit our potential. Specifically, here's what I'd like to accomplish. I'd like to hire an education financial specialist to help determine a reasonable reserve level so that we can create greater certainty for strategic planning. I'd like to see metrics developed that will provide us with real understanding of student achievement. I'd like to nurture partnerships with our 3 cities, find collaboration and support within our city governments, businesses, and nonprofits. And most importantly, support a fully realized and implemented site council for each school that would analyze school data, establish school goals, and suggest improvements. Because when parents, students, and teachers are empowered to shape the direction of public education, we not only strengthen our schools, we strengthen our communities. Thank you all for being here this evening, and thank you to the Southern Hills Homeowner Association for initiating and organizing this forum. I respectfully ask for your support on November 4th.
Hi, Joel Diaz again. So I'm endorsed by 3 city council members from Brisbane, also David Canepa, the mayor of Daly City. You know, I really feel that we have to be honest in evaluating the data we have about academic performance. No one's mentioned it tonight. And, you know, for the past 6 years, 40% of the students have tested below proficient at Panorama, at Lippman, at Brisbane Elementary. 40%. That's a huge number of kids. At Panorama, there's 100 students. That means 40 children are below proficient. It's totally unacceptable. It's not 1, it's not 2. I think a lot of that is largely due to reading, that the children are just struggling with reading. It's just that simple. We're so mired down in the administrative processes of preparing for Common Core and all the other things, crisis management, where's the money going to come from? We're forgetting about teaching the kids how to read. I think when we have too many priorities, we have no priority. We've got to slow down, we've got to simplify, we've got to get back to basics. We need to focus on tried and true principles. We need to focus on the important tasks at hand. We need to build a system of continual improvement within our schools that does not exist now. The site council is a great way to do it. That's one group. The more groups we have, the more heads we have thinking. You know, 2 heads are better than 1. 100 heads can come up with really good ideas very quickly, and they need to meet routinely. And that's the strategy for long-term success. That's how we become adaptive. We have groups meeting all the time. It's something that's new that we're doing all over the place. This is one of the goals in the school district's plan, the local education agency plan. It just hasn't been implemented yet. We need to take that plan, we need to start developing and implementing the goals that we already have that have not been implemented. And we need to get a financial analyst. We need to get our head around the mathematical financial problems we have. And we need to talk about parcel taxes. We need to get the communities together. We need to work on that now, not 12 months from now, not a year from now, not when Common Core tells us something now. Thank you very much. I ask for your vote respectfully.
Great, thank you so much. My only sister was elected to the Millbury School Board for 19 years, so I understand the awesome responsibilities you are competing for. We appreciate your doing it very much. So now Sal will hopefully invite us to socialize and listen.
I certainly will. I'd like to thank all the candidates for coming tonight. I apologize if you couldn't hear